Alright guys, today we have a 2019 Camry push to start. We're going to be doing a remote start, 3 times lock using the iData Link ALCA. So here we go. First we got to take it out of the box and flash it. So while that's flashing, generally I take all the wires out that I know I'm going to need and cut all the wire ties and everything, and then straighten them out so they're a little easier and manageable. After you get done flashing with the web link piece, it has a little button that says View Install Guide. You click that and it brings up the PDF file for the TL7 firmware for the ALCA. And this car is install type number 5. So scroll down to number 5 and follow your wiring diagram. So out of this harness you're going to need the pink for ignition, can high, can low, and then orange or black. I depin mine, but you don't have to, especially if you're thinking about adding other features later. You can just cut them off and tape them up so they don't ground out or touch anything. This one here, we need the white with black, white with red. Don't need the white. This here is going to break the auto light connection whenever the car shuts off, so that the lights don't stay on and kill the battery. This plug, we need the green with red for the SLP up at the steering column. So here's your power harness. We don't use the blue with white. That's for status if you're hardwiring something. So just power and ground out of that one. This one here, we need the green wire, and then you can use the green with black for hood pin if you need. I use cheap tape for my prep. It's not as sticky and doesn't leave residue all over the wires in case you need to undo it or anything. The white with black, white with red, and solid green, I tape those up because that goes to the parking lights at the parking light switch in the steering column, close to the steering wheel. And then can high, can low, tape them up, they go to the ECU, which is going to be your brown with yellow, brown with red. Then everything else you tape up together. It goes to the where the SLP connection is. You can catch your ignition, power, ground there also. And this device doesn't pull very much current at all, so it's not like it's going to overload the circuit. While I'm out of the car, I go ahead and put my butt connectors on the white with black, white with red wire. These two here. I also go ahead and strip all my wires back so that I don't have a bunch of debris in the vehicle. Just helps to keep it clean. And I use the box that it came in for my trash box in the car. once again, a clean, simple prep job, so I'll see you in the car shortly. Alright, here we are in the 2019 Camry. So I'm leaving it running so that I can turn the steering column. We'll take that off, we'll take this part here off, the under part, and probably this kick panel, just so we can have easier access to everything and you can see better. So, here we go. Much like the RAV4, I start out by zip tying my parking light connections up here, just so I make sure I have enough length and I don't have to extend them or anything. And you got power, ground, SLP, and ignition that needs to connect here, so we'll tie that in. Can high, can low needs to come over here to the ECU, but first I like to zip tie the module up onto this main harness that circles around to the center console, up out of the way. It'd be a bad day if it would get hung up on stuff in there. First I'll start out by making my connections on the can high and can low, and then zip tie it up out of the way of the extra slack you have. Can high is brown, can low is white in the car. Okay, that's connected. Next is parking lights. So pin 3 is going to be your parking lights. Pin 5 is the auto lights that you need to break the connection for. Also, only break that connection if it actually says auto light up here on the light connector or switch. This tape's pretty tough, so you're better off just unraveling it instead of cutting it. And these wires are really small gauge. I think they're about 22 gauge. So you have to be very careful not to accidentally break or cut through them. So 1, 2, 3. The parking light wire on this car is blue with black. So, standard military splice. Cut a section of the insulation out. Take your pick tool, poke a hole. Take your parking light wire, which is green, poke that through the hole and wrap it around. And tape it. And then pin 5 for your auto light connection is going to be white. So cut this one, but make sure you cut away from your plug a little ways. And I strip back enough wire so that you can fold it in half. so that the butt connector actually has something to crimp onto. So now we put these up here and put a zip tie around them so they don't come undone or anything. And they're up out of the way. And you plug this back in and the beeping should stop. So they're reconnected the auto lights, so now it's not going to beep at you. And now we got power, ground, ignition, and SLP connection all in this one plug. So first one I do is ground. Next is SLP, which is a tan colored wire, and the green with red goes to that from the ALCA. Next is ignition, which is this light blue or light green wire. It's like a seafoam green almost. And 12 is constant is white on the 19 Camrys. And red coming off of the module. Alright, so there's everything in there. I'll bring you in, show you where I put everything. So here is the SLP power, ground, ignition connectors. This here is for parking lights. You got parking light and auto light disconnect. The ALC module I zip tie right here so that you can see the light and everything. It's also out of the way. You zip tie all along this harness. Can high, can low is up in here, tucked out of the way and zip tied. So next is programming. So basically programming, you need to have one key in the car, press the stop button 2 times but not have your foot on the brake. Then look at the light on the ALCA. It's flashing currently, so you need to turn the vehicle off. Wait for it to turn solid red, and then you can turn the vehicle back on, and it should go solid green, which it did. And once it's out, you can turn the vehicle back off, shut the door, and testing. So we'll be back for that. Alright guys, now we have testing, so we're going to press lock and look on the dash where you see the alarm indicator. It's a car with a lock symbol. As soon as that starts to flash, that means that the factory alarm is set, and we can test after that. The reason why we wait for that to set is because we need to make sure that the ALCA actually disarms the factory alarm and doesn't set it off whenever it goes to start. Also, whenever I test it, I step about 10 feet away from the vehicle, press lock 3 times, and wait. Okay, it's flashing now, so I'm going to step away and press lock 3 times. Alright, the vehicle has started. Everything seems to be working alright. It didn't shut down, so now I can either press lock 3 more times to shut the vehicle down if I decide not to go anywhere, or I can open the door, the vehicle will shut off, and then once I get in and I'm buckled up, I can resume driving after starting the vehicle. So that's it. Now I just have to put the vehicle back together and I'll test it one more time just to be sure, and should be good to go.